I want to show you guys and do my album rankings and EP rankings for everything that was released this year. But I thought I would start with the EPs first because there was a lot this year that I want to talk about. So at number 12, I have Us in Motion, Necromancy, and Us in Motion, Necromancy. This was a good one, but they have other songs that I do like, and I guess there's only really 12 EPs on here, so like they're not technically for me at least ranked, but I'm just like, it was good. I did enjoy it. I don't think I listened to it all the way through though. Maybe. I can't remember. Number 11 is El Martini, When the Dust Settles. I don't remember this because I listened to this in the beginning of the year. A lot of the stuff I didn't go back and listen to just because I haven't really had the time to do it. Number 10 is Alternate Reality by Sarah Barros. Number 9 is Our Last Night, Empire's Fall. Number 8 is Poppy Stegger. I did really like one of the songs off of this one. I just don't remember what it was. Number 7 are both an artist called Margot, released 2 EPs this year, Cool on the Internet and Fake Funeral. She is a new one. I really enjoy her music. She's awesome. And then Saving Vice, which for some reason I don't have their name of theirs on here, but I do really remember liking theirs. Is This What I Look Like by Yours Truly was another band I did end up checking out this year. I really enjoyed this EP. I have a favorite song, I just don't remember what it was called. Number 4 is Black Veil Brides, The Morning. I freaking love Black Veil Brides. I freaking really love this EP. Yeah. Number 3 is Scene Queen, Bimblecore Volume 1 and 2. I really enjoyed both of them. Pink Panther is my favorite off the first one. Off the second one is probably Pink Whitney. And then number 2 is Circle When Last December. If you know Hardcore Reactions, he does a bunch of metalcore reactions on YouTube. He released music this year. I really enjoy this EP. My favorite song off of it is Permanence. And then my number 1 EP of this year is Spirit Box Rotoscope. I think Sew Me Up is my favorite song off this EP. I freaking loved all the EPs that were released this year. Sorry, this video is going by quick. I have a lot to get through. Sorry. Okay, let's do it. Let's get to this long list of albums that were released this year, because there was a lot. So I want to start with honorable mentions because I didn't have time to check these out, but I really want to. Color Decay by Devil Wears Prada and 1000 Below, Hell Finds You Everywhere. I've listened to some songs off these albums and I do really like them, but I just kind of ran out of time to check out these albums because of because of school and just everything else going on. So yeah, those are my 2 honorable mentions that I am going to check out next year. An album I didn't like and completely forgot even was released this year was Skillet Dominion. I only ever liked one song off of it, and it was the first single that they released for this album. I just didn't enjoy this album at all this year, because honestly, I completely even forgot it was even a thing that was released this year, but whatever. Albums I didn't care for but were still really good releases were Love Sucks by Avril Lavigne, Youngblood's self-titled that he released this year, and Shinedown Planet Zero. I haven't really listened to them that much since they came out, but I did really like these albums, so it was good. I'm gonna stop this here, and then we're gonna go through like at least 11, and then we'll go through my top 10 maybe. Okay, so let's get going on my album rankings of 2022. So at number 20, I have Gifts from the Holy Ghost from Dorothy. My favorite song off this was Rest in Peace. This was actually the very first song I ever heard from her. I love her voice. I love how it sounds. It reminds me of like older women artists singing at the time. So like from like the 90s and the 80s, I believe. I might be wrong with that, but yeah, I love her voice. At number 19, I have Us in Motion, Death Poems. My favorite song off of this was You've Got a Thing for Narcissists. I believe they released this song in like February or March, maybe. I might be wrong with that, but this album was really good. I really enjoyed this song. I have it on a playlist at the moment because I'm trying to get back into listening to more music than just the same bands I listen to every week or every day. At number 18, I have Maggie Lindemann, Sucker Punch. My favorite song off of this was Self Sabotage. I love her voice in this song. Like, it's just so good. I did really actually enjoy this album, but I haven't listened to it much since it came out. 3 Days of Grace, Explosions. I don't care what you say. I like both singers. My favorite song off of this one was I Am the Weapon. I listened to this album a lot at school last year. At number 16, I have Blind Channel, Lifestyles of the Sick and Dangerous. I really enjoyed this album. From what I remember listening to it, my favorite song off of it is Bad Idea, and I got introduced to them on YouTube, I think, or TikTok from their song Dark Side, and I love both of these songs. I love this band so much. And Eva Under Fire at number 15 with their album Love, Drugs, and Misery, which was released this year. I got introduced to them by their song Blow featuring Spencer Charnas of Ice Nine Kills. I still immensely love this song. I love this album. I love the lead singer so much. Like, she's very present on TikTok and she makes awesome videos and promotes her band really well. I love Blow so much. It's still one of my main to-go-to songs. It's actually my very first song on my school playlist on my school computer on YouTube. At number 14, I have Sleeping with Sirens, Complete Collapse. My favorite song of this one was Family Tree. This song is like one of their best songs ever, and I've only really been in the last video Sleeping with Sirens got cut off, but I was gonna say I've only been listening to them from 2019 till now, but I immensely do love this band. So then at number 13, I have Palais Royale with their album Fever Dream, which was released the day before my birthday. Actually, so that was a nice birthday gift. My favorite song off of this is King of the Damned. It's just such a fun and cohesive album. I loved it so much. At number 12, we have Fame on Fire, Welcome to the Chaos. My favorite song off of this one was Robbery. The song is so freaking fun. I love it so much. I listen to it so much. I listen to this album so much. I listen to the single Cutthroat so much. It was just an awesome album. At number 11, I have Until I Wake Inside My Head. I found Until I Wake with their song Inside My Head from a reaction channel that was going through like songs through the week, and I found their song Inside My Head, and I found love. My two favorite songs off this album are Blue Beam and For the Record. I love both of those. I love the beginning of Blue Beam. For the Record is just chef's kiss. At number 9, I have Mothika with her album Nocturnal, and then the deluxe version of it. My favorite song off of the normal version of Nocturnal is the title track, and then off the deluxe version is her song Night Shift. I love both of those. At number 8, I have Fit for a King, The Hell We Create, which was a newer band I checked out this year, mainly because of Nick Nocturnal's reactions he does on Twitch. Sorry, my dad came in. But The Hell We Create by Fit for a King. My favorite song off of this is Reaper. It's heavy as shit, and I freaking love it so much. I actually just recently listened to it this week. At number 7, I have Memphis Mayfire Remade in Misery. I haven't actually listened to Memphis that much since I reacted to them, but when they released Blood and Water, I fell in love with them again. My favorite song off of this album from this year is Your Turn. At number 6, I have Moshless in White Going Into the World. My favorite song off of that is Sign of Life. This is probably one of my favorite Moshless in White albums. I found them from Another Life. It's just, I love this album immensely. I listen to a lot. It's still going on playlists and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna stop and we'll do part. I just recognized that I skipped number 10. Number 10 was Lorna Shore, The Pain Remains. My favorite songs off of it were actually the whole Pain Remains trilogy. This was my first time really listening to deathcore. I finally broke down and checked Lorna Shore out, mainly because of To the Hellfire, because I was still seeing it everywhere at the time. But Lorna Shore is freaking awesome. I really love them. I love Will's vocals. I love everything about them. They're also a really good band to like just relax to and want to fall asleep to. So back on with it. At number 5, I have I Prevail True Power with their song Fake is my favorite song off this album. I mean, all the songs are, and I could have chose multiple other songs, but I just narrowed it down to this one. But I freaking love this album. I was really surprised by it when I heard it the night it came out. I was freaking losing my shit. It's such a good album. Was one of probably my most listened to albums this year, towards the end of the year. At number 4, I have Architects with the Classic Symptoms of the Broken Spirit. I know people are very iffy on Architects, but my favorite song off of this one was Be Very Afraid. I love how heavy it is. It's freaking insane. I never get tired of listening to the song. At number 3, which is another new band I checked out because they were so widely talked about and I finally just broke down and did it, was Dayseeker. I actually checked out Neon Graves. Actually ended up popping up one day while I was at school while I was listening to Battle Men's on Spotify, and I fell in love with them. I don't actually remember if I've ever listened to them before that moment, but I decided, I think because that week I didn't really have any albums other like coming out, so the week that Dark Sun was released, I decided why not check out the Dayseeker album. So I did, and I freaking enjoy Dayseeker a lot. I've listened to 2 of their other songs that aren't on Dark Sun, and my favorite song on Dark Sun is Parallel. And then I'm gonna save number 1 for a separate video. But number 2 is Elsewhere by Set It Off. My favorite song is Magic 8. I had so much fun with this album. Another one of my probably most listened to albums this year. I love Set It Off so much. They are one of my new favorite bands ever. They just make really fun pop punk and I love it so much. Number 1 in its own video next. You probably guessed it by now because the only album I haven't talked about is on here, and it was one of the biggest talked about releases this year, is The Death of Peace of Mind by Battle Men's. Is my number 1 album of this year. I'm still currently listening to this album every day, listening to this band every day, listening to their other songs every day. My favorite song off this album is Artificial Suicide. Like, I love it. I can't describe how much I love this. Like, when Artificial Suicide came out, it really cemented for me that they are one of my favorite bands to ever release music. Like, I first heard Limits on radio and I found love. Just Battle Men's, they're really special to me too. I actually was just listening to Finding God Before God Finds Me last night. But The Death of Peace of Mind is just such an awesome album. It blew me out of the water, and anytime I listen to any of the songs off of this, like, those songs still blow me out of the water. Like, it's such a good album. Like, I've fallen asleep to this album too. Like, it's just, this album is everything I wanted it to be, and even more, with even more surprises on it. I wasn't expecting, like, the lo-fi songs of, like, Who Are You and Bad Decisions and Somebody Else. Like, there were so many surprises on this album, and it still continues to be one of my favorite releases of this year, and probably ever. I'm also so excited for next year, because there are some big releases next year, but I think Battlemans will always probably stay really close in my listening habits from now on, because this album is just, it was a masterpiece. Like, there's nothing for me wrong with it at all. Like, I freaking love Just Pretend. I love Concrete Jungle. I love Nowhere to Go. Like, I love it so much.